Here is a 2023 Honda Pilot Elite, all-wheel drive in modern steel with brown leather interior. This is all new for the year. You're getting 5 extra horsepower. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and the family SUV on the Elite trim gets LED fog lamps, daytime runnings. The chrome bar goes into the headlamp assembly, gloss black for the enlarged grille. It's more boxy and wider than the prior gen. On the lower, you'll get the satin aluminum that's going to wrap around the middle piece, still receiving 8 inches of clearance. The Trail Sport will increase that by 1 inch, changing the suspension layout, adding skid plates and all-terrain tires. No more 9-speed automatic either. This is the 10-speed in its second gen. Because this is the Elite, we do get a 360-degree reverse camera. 5 extra horsepower, it's to that 3.5 liter V6. 285 horsepower is now pumped out of it with 262 pound-feet of torque with the VCM or variable cylinder management to get optimal fuel economy. And 19 mpgs for the city, 25 mpgs for the highway. Standard will be an 18-inch wheel. These are 20-inch alloy wheels because of the Elite trim. Matte black around the fenders. It's still a unibody. A McPherson strut front suspension, multi-link rear suspension. Both the front and the rear will have your coil springs and your anti-roll bars with the IVTM4 all-wheel drive system. Gloss black for the roof rails, and the lower still has an athletic approach even if you do not option the Trail Sport. Nearly 200 inches long, which is around 4 inches longer. Gloss black will surround the lower roof spoiler, shark fin antenna, LED tail lamps. I like the way they've done this because it's not a light bar. They put the gloss black and the matte black for the Pilot, so you don't have to do any chrome delete here. The lower gets chromed out tips for the exhaust pipes, front and rear parking sensors, towing up to 5,000 pounds, which is the same as the prior gen. Kick to open or power lift gate going into 18.6 cubic feet behind the third row. Cargo underneath the floor with a divider on both sides. Storage on the side pockets, 12 volts. Split fold, the third row in the back at a 60-40 split. That will increase cargo to 48.8 cubic feet. Fold down the captain seats, and that will maximize cargo to 100.7 cubic feet, which is 4 cubic feet more than the prior gen. It's a wide opening, it does sit up a bit, dual exhaust outlets. Let's go inside, start up so you can hear that exhaust note. Going inside to 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 4-way power seat adjustment for the passenger, heated, ventilated memory for the driver. Headroom for the front, 40.5 inches. Legroom at 41 inches. Because it's a wider exterior, it also complements that on the interior. The passenger side gets a storage pocket in between the air vents, gloss black on the side air vents with the premium Bose sound system, 12 speakers, 9-inch touchscreen with navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, cabin talk, Honda Link, and the cabin talk is right here. When you push onto that, you can speak into the microphone, in which is up in here, and it will play through the speakers in the back seats. 360-degree reverse camera, we have that. Full trajectory for the front and the rear, and you can change the camera layouts. Working into tri-climate control settings. A storage pocket, USB, 12 volt, wireless charging pad, the key fob for the Pilot Elite. Gloss black around the push to put it into gear. Driving mode select, which we have Sport, Normal, Econ, Snow, Trail, Sand, Tow. It's going to be soft where you rest your arms, open up inside, and you got a tray that you can put some pins or key fobs, and a large, deep storage pocket. 3-spoke leather wrap steering wheel. It's heated, multi-function with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, including Honda Sense and traffic jam assist. The gauge cluster, 10.2-inch digital instrument cluster. And on both sides, you have an array of information that you can toggle through, including your turn-by-turn navigation, tire pressure monitor, heads-up display settings. You can customize it for your phone and your stereo settings. Heads-up display, because we are in the Elite. The door panel has the pattern structure that's going to run underneath the satin aluminum. It's going to be more soft drive, one touch up and down for all the windows. The first tier of storage gets a beverage holder and a storage pocket here with a larger storage pocket on the bottom and a power panoramic roof that goes to the second row. For the back seats, 40.2 inches of headroom, 40.8 inches of legroom. These individually move up and move back. You can also fold these back more to relax or sit up normal. And if you want an armrest, simply pull this. And now you got the armrest, storage, cup holders, third climate control setting, heated rear seats, USB, home plug, and storage behind both of the front seats, which is more unique. Because you got a little storage pocket here for a smaller cell phone and a deep storage pocket right here with a third storage pocket on the top. Manual sun shades for the second row. The door panel gets the same materials that's found in the front with a large storage pocket on the top with 2 beverage holders and a medium-sized storage pocket on the bottom. The center also removes completely, which it weighs about 25 to 30 pounds roughly. And now you can put the seat inside here so you can have captain seats without paying an extra premium, and you can store it away without leaving it in your garage. Scooting into the center with more or less a flat floor, leg space and feet space will not be an issue at all. Same thing with butt and shoulder space, and headroom for the center is still doable at 6'3". To enter into the back seats, push the button, slides forward, walk right in. 32.5 inches of leg room, 39.3 inches of headroom. The sides will get a couple of bottle holders, air vents, USB. The windows push back just a touch. Sliding over into the center, it's going to be a little bit more tight with the seat up, but if you take the seat and put it back into the storage, and now you have substantial room for feet space. The rails are exactly where they need to be. There is a bit of a hump right here, but it's still easy to fit 3 occupants in the back seat, and headroom is not going to be an issue. 285 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, 5 horsepower more, sport mode. We're in it. Let's see how well she goes. The exhaust note does filter in whenever you're giving it a go. It's nice to hear that because this vehicle is nearly 200 inches, around 4 inches longer than the prior gen. It feels wider, interior space feels more spacious, there's more cubbies throughout. Even Honda's illustrated that 8 cup holders out of the 14 to 16 that they've given can fit 32-ounce bottles. I mean, they're just really thinking about a family here. Going to try to set it as straight as possible and give her a little go. Even though the curb weight is over 4,000 to around 4,700 pounds, it still has the motivation. It's going to take me to some pros and cons, and starting off with is what I like about the vehicle. The second row, you can have captain seats without an upgraded price, and you don't have to worry about storing that center seat everywhere in your house because they've given you storage underneath the floor in the cargo, which you still have storage capacity next to it. So they really are thinking about all these things, and it's derived out of Acura, so you're getting that for a price savings. Even though this starts in the mid 50s and it can go near $60,000, what you're getting in the interior for the Elite really does set itself off. Ventilated heated seats, you can only get that on the top tier. I wish that it had more than 4-seat power adjustment for the passenger, because when you're in this price point, typically you get at least 8-way power seat adjustment with a lumbar support. Standard 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver is a great upgrade for the vehicle, and the width also, it's just so much more airy and open, more cargo capacity, more storage capacity inside. Even for the passenger, there's no pass-through, but they give optimal on the dashboard, so you can fit several cell phones or even a tablet if you needed to. It might stand out a little bit. And here in the center, it's huge and deep. This is definitely a great family SUV. Some cons or things I dislike about the vehicle is you have to option higher trim. So the features in which you see on the Touring, you will not receive some of these features on trim levels underneath it. And I'm sure you could probably do some aftermarket work, but it would be nice to have some option capabilities. Removing the seat that's in the center for the second row is a little bit heavy. Another con about the vehicle is there's no pass-through. What a lot of the automotive industry is doing now with the updates or giving us a pass-through. What Honda does to offset that, though, is you get storage in front of the passenger, which kind of works out almost the same. It's just not going to be as deep and wide. Now we're going to check the turn radius. More or less stop point is going to get about 2 lanes, same as the prior gen. Give her a little go. The steering is going to be a little bit more light than the prior gen, so for everyday drive it ticks the box. I'm not a huge fan of the simple dashboard layout that's basically where the infotainment screen just pops out. I think it would be a little bit more cleaned up if they lowered the infotainment screen where the air vents are and put the air vents on the top. Where the controls are, it is user friendly, just does create a little bit of an eyesore. If you want 360-degree reverse camera, that's another thing I dislike. You have to go up the tier to the Touring. Another con is in the third row, the way the pillars push out for the bottle holders and the armrest. There's also a lip where your feet are, so you will be sharing a little bit more feet space than need be because it pushes out about 2 to 3 inches on both sides. I like how the gauge cluster shows everything that you're doing, just like Acura. So if you're holding the brake, you'll see it. You turn the indicators on, you'll see it because the little car icon there, in which these are things that are coming out of a vehicle that's more expensive, and yes, they have increased the price, but you have received increase in length, width, interior space, and horsepower. It's still a smooth drive comparing it to the prior gen. I like the standard safety amenities, and when you get to the Elite, you get every bell and whistle. It does feel wider than the prior gen, and it feels a little bit more taller. Obviously, it's going to feel a little bit longer, but even with these 20-inch upgraded wheels, it's still a smooth drive, whether you're going on slower or higher speeds, going over any imperfections in the road. Another pro about the vehicle is, unlike the CR-V or HR-V, the dashboard layout is more user-friendly. It's not going to be derived out of the Civic, so this is more unique if you are considering those two options, because you do not need a third row. It's a more open, airy design, but here is going to have a sufficient amount more storage, towing capabilities, and an everyday use blend. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, Instagram, leave a comment and a like.